In this video, I'll discuss the asset tracking feature that's built into Macs and Viz. Go to the File menu and choose Asset Tracking, or press Shift-T to open this dialog box. This shows a tree with the scene file at the top and all of its dependents listed below. The Maps Shaders category lists all of the bitmaps that are referenced by materials in the scene, and the Photometric category lists all of the IES files that are used by the photometric light sources in the scene. These are used in a radiosity rendering. Oftentimes what will happen is hard-coded paths will break over the lifetime of a project when a folder is renamed or the contents of a folder is moved elsewhere. In that situation, it's necessary to repath the assets. And you can do that quite conveniently here in this dialog box. You can use it as an alternative to the bitmap photometric utility. Select an asset and go to the Paths menu, and you can set a new path here. You can also make a path relative to the project folder, which is a new feature in 3ds Max 9. Project folders are useful because they create a separate folder structure for each project. You can also resolve a path to a universal naming convention location, and this is an alternative path system that uses double backslashes at the beginning of the path, and then the machine name, and then the folder names down to the bitmap. The advantage to UNC is it doesn't use drive letters, which can differ on every machine, so it's a more robust pathing system. You can also strip a path, and now it's no longer hard-coded. Bitmaps that are stripped of their path information will be sought out starting in the path to the scene file. And if they're not located there, they will be sought out in the user paths, which you can configure here. Go to the External Files tab, and this is a list of folders or paths that will be searched when an asset is missing. You can add additional paths in here, and you can add subpaths by checking this box. Be careful not to add too many paths in here because every single folder will have to be searched when an asset is missing. Another interesting thing you can do with asset tracking is you can enable the proxy system. This can save memory when you're displaying high-resolution bitmaps in the viewport. I'll enable the proxy system and downscale the bitmaps to a portion of their original size. And they'll only be downscaled if they're larger than an absolute size that you set here. The idea is you can render with full resolution images or render the proxies directly, and you can save memory and accelerate your interactive performance by using this system. Asset tracking can be integrated with an automated tracking system that has version control, such as Autodesk Vault. This is a separate piece of software that aggregates all the content in your enterprise into a single database, and it maintains all the versions that you save of your files. So this is something to look into if you're in a larger firm, and it has to be integrated with your IT personnel because this type of system takes a lot more storage space, but it can be quite useful if you're working in a team. In a versioning system, you can check files in and out so that there's never a conflict and people never overwrite each other's work. This brings me to the end of Module 4. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.